protest from Derek. He's hiding behind a tree. But yeah, I have family in Gaza, and basically I just wanted to say that we all want peace. We want to coexist, and we hope and pray that the United States, land of the free, can also help other countries become free and just get along, coexist, and stop the killing, stop the massacre, and stop just basically the hate. Thank you.
Real quick, I don't need that. My name is Marty Gawoski. I live in Albany, New York, and I've known about this, it seems forever and ever. This has gone on, and the more and more I learn about it, it seems the worse and worse it gets for the Palestinians, and you wonder where the hope is. And I think in this country, I still think, see politicians stand up, and you never seem to take any punishment for saying, I support Israel. That gets you reelected. If you don't do that, like the guy down in Brooklyn, he got voted out of office. So I really think there needs to be some, I don't know, some penalty for politicians, but there doesn't seem to be so far. But on the other hand, I guess the hope is when you think years ago, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King were both pretty much hunted by our government as communists. So maybe, and they don't do that overtly anymore. So maybe there is hope. I hope there is. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Dina. I am Palestinian. We come from Massachusetts, so we drove a couple hours to be here. I feel it's probably the least we can do. I mean, after all that is going on over there, and all those poor kids are going through, and those families, it's the least we can do is drive here. So, my family is from Ramallah, Albany. I have family in Jenin. And I went over there, it was probably 1986. I was about 14 years old. Please don't do the math. And it was pretty eye-opening, as you can imagine, especially for a 14-year-old. Right at the airport, opened our bags and had to look through, but, so nice of them to throw our things all around and make us pick them up afterwards. But as we got in there and we went to visit family, I did not go with my parents, so that already was very hard, because I went with my aunt and my uncle, and we went to visit. As you can imagine, because we all kind of know what happens there with the borders and not being able to cross, and it's very scary for a little girl, especially you don't have your parents around, and so it was scary. So it was very eye-opening to the whole thing. I always heard my parents and my family talk about it. But you don't really know until you're there and you see it for yourself. My grandmother lived there. She was kicked out of her home with her 9 kids, my father being one of them, my aunts and uncles. So it's very personal. My heart bleeds for all of them over there. But until you're there and you see it, you don't understand it. But the thing we do have on our side is social media. We have social media now, which is a huge thing, because you see a lot of propaganda, and American media focuses on one side, as we all know, but we have social media now. So it's kind of hard now to hide the truth. So what I go to, this is my personal thing, is I go right to YouTube. Everything is there now. You can see home videos, you can see what's actually going on, and when I see someone send me propaganda, I send them a home video. Really? Well, look at this, because you can't make this up. So that's what I do, and I think luckily for us, we have that now where we didn't have that years ago. We have social media now, and I think if you look at some of what Israelis are putting out there, they're making themselves look bad, all by themselves. So I'm hoping that eventually we'll get to the place where Americans will start to wake up, because right now they're just believing what they're told, which is a sad thing, because they're not speaking for themselves. So hopefully, everyone out there will start sending some YouTube videos and kind of enlightening some people as to what is actually going on. I'm happy to be here, and I hope to make some new friends today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susan. I came in from Western Mass. It really wasn't that big of a trip and definitely worth it. For myself, the Palestinian massacre has awakened my activism, and I agree with what Dina and some other people just said about the media. And certainly if you pick up most newspapers or turn your TV on, you'll definitely not get the true story of what's happening. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There is some good alternative media out there. Amy Goodman every day on Democracy Now! is recording live from Gaza, people right in the front lines. And I'm not on social media, so that's where I'm getting my news, and I feel like it's taught me a lot. And thank you all for coming today.
My name is John. I'm from Massachusetts, and you know, why I'm here is because nothing surprises me about, you know, the United States involvement in this, in what's happening. I read a lot, and I should have more to say, but you know, to put it concisely is very difficult. I mean, if you think about the word democracy and having a meaning for ordinary people to live in with a minimum of conflict and the types of things that are happening here that we're here for, and you realize that the government of the United States does not support democracy. There wouldn't be a Palestinian conflict if Palestine had a brutal dictatorship. You know, those are the kind of people that the United States likes to do business. That's the friends of the United States. I don't think the United States has any love or friendship with Israel. It's geopolitical advantage that they be friends with Israel, because geopolitics in the world today, the word is oil. This all stems from the United States would come to a screeching halt in 10 minutes without oil. Okay? Unfortunately, these poor babies and children and innocent people, and yesterday they said on Democracy Now! That only 22% of the land that was Palestine is now not Israel. It's you know, it's gone beyond an intellectual or political idea. It's a heart-wrenching, terrible thing that I don't see that there is going to be any change in the future. But for myself, I'm here because you know, in a personal way, I need to say it's gone too far. You know, thank you.
Oh, I'm Terry from Albany. I've been at a number of rallies down at these streets, going back to the Vietnam days. I'm here to show my solidarity with the people of Gaza and my displeasure with my own government. We don't appreciate segregation in these United States. We shouldn't allow it to exist in countries like Israel. I would have no problem with the state of Israel if Israel was a nation with one set of laws, one set of roads, equal rights for all of its citizens, all of its people, regardless of religion. That's not what exists there. A nation that practices genocide has no right to exist.
My Loudonville, which is right outside of Albany. I'm still in high school, so there's not much that I can do, but I follow the conflict on social media, and I try to do what I can by spreading awareness, because in my community, in the school that I go to, there's not much, people don't follow these things, and I try to do what I can by just sharing every video that comes on my Facebook feed, try to just spread awareness, because that's all that I can do right now.
I'll sort of wrap it up a little bit. I won't talk too much about myself, but I grew up in New York City. I'm from Bronx, New York. And being Palestinian, my whole life I was encouraged, not by my family, but from outsiders, to keep silent. Don't say you're Palestinian. Don't say you're Arab. You never know who. I was told after graduating college, watch out, you may not get jobs if you're being interviewed by a pro-Israeli. So try to keep being Palestinian low. And growing up in New York City when September 11th happened and seeing my family, you know, the FBI called on us, we were called terrorists, things like that, I started questioning at 9 years old the nation that I lived in. And as I started doing more research on my own, not based off what my family told me and what they viewed about Palestine, but based off what I learned in college and meeting people who actually knew a lot about the conflict, is why I come to my conclusion. Not because I am Palestinian, but I'm human. And that's a big slogan that everyone's pretty much using all over social media, Free Gaza, and a campaign saying, you know, why do you want freedom in Gaza? Because you're human, and we are human beings, and what's happening right now is it's a disgrace on Americans too, that we're sitting back, and history will show that the American government stood quiet and supported this in history, but at least American people didn't. All right, anyone else want to talk before we march?
Hello? Oh, I didn't come down here with a prepared speech, but I do feel like I've been prevented to go to different places, like these activities, these events, by, you know, little harassment, like the hot water heater or the furnace and this and that. And I'm just glad I made it here today, because they really do everything in their power to stop me from being around people, to make me be isolated all alone. And I really don't understand why, but you know, I do support Fidel Castro and the Cuban Revolution and the anti-war activities and this activity and these types of things. And now it seems like, you know, this is a war of labels. Like, I call and see the situation as very fascist, like the Israeli government. To me, in my eyes, they're very fascist. Some people say you shouldn't use this label because this word is used for a certain historical situation that's very, you know, like I'm trying to say. I take the Holocaust very seriously, and I honor the people that died and their memory that died during those years. But what Israel's doing is just another form of fascism, in my eyes, Nazism. So I just wanted to speak because, you know, they always try to silence me, and you can't even imagine, but, you know, power to the people. And, you know, like this woman said, one day, it's so shameful that in our name, with our tax dollars, and you know, eventually it's what they do to others, they're gonna do to us eventually. And they already have their concentration camps here with blacks being in prison, assassinating young kids and this and that. So thank you for coming, because I know that I saw online that you guys came from Syracuse, and it's just nice to have you here.